Dear students, hello and welcome to MedEnglish course. Today's topic is hospital planning and we are doing part 1. We have 4 quotations for the first task. Let's read them. Number 1. The life is a hospital in which every patient is possessed with a desire to change his bed. Charles Baudelaire. Number 2. A hospital alone shows what war is. Eric Maria Remarque. Number 3. A hospital should also have a recovery room adjoining the cashier's office. Francis Alwash. Number 4. A hospital bed is a parked taxi with a meter running. Groucho Marx. So that's the task. We have to read the quotations and we have to choose any 2 quotations among the suggested ones to compare their meanings. We have to comment on the chosen quotes according to the plan. And we have to answer the questions. What is the meaning of the quotes? Do they have the same meaning? What are their common features or differences? And do you agree or disagree with their meaning? Here are your 4 quotations. And as soon as you are finished, we can check the answer and compare it to the suggested one. I've chosen quotations 1 and 2 to compare. The meaning of Charles Baudelaire's quotation refers to the patient's attitude to hospital and life challenges. Eric Remarque in his quotation expresses the idea that a hospital life is very difficult and can be compared to war. The author's attitude is enunciated by metaphors. A bed is compared to a personal situation, a patient to a person in need, a war to the struggle for well-being and health, a hospital to a battlefield. The meanings of these quotations have much in common. They are close to each other in their philosophical understanding of life. People focus on their hardships and struggle for good life, which is similar to being at war. But at the same time, these quotes have some slight differences in their meanings. Baudelaire's theme is concentrated on the person and his or her individual needs, while Remarque's quote has a more universal meaning, focusing on the situation in general. I fully agree with both authors, because staying at a hospital and facing with difficulties reveals much about the personality, just like it happens in any critical situation, like war or diseases. Let's read word booster section and be ready to translate it into Russian. Let's start reading. The typical hospital structure usually forms according to categorical grouping and include administrative services, the board, CEO, department heads, etc., whose duties concern overseeing hospitals' budgeting, finance, policies, and performing public relation activities. Informational services include working upon all hospitals' documentation and process information like admissions, billing, medical records, health education, and human resources. Therapeutic services, which provide treatment and medical care procedures to patients. Diagnostic services, in charge of determining the cause or causes of illness or injury, radiology, ultrasound, MRI, CT, and support services responsible for repairing, cleaning, distributing equipment and supplies. Translate it into Russian and compare it to the answers. Next, you are going to watch the suggested video and you have to go by the link at the bottom of the slide. Be attentive to the hospital structure information. So that's the task you have to do after watching. You have to fill in the typical hospital structure with the information from the video. Take your time to complete the exercise, and as soon as you finish, compare your answers. The last task for today's lesson is an interactive file, and we have to answer the questions. Number 1. Which categorical group deals with relevant hospital documenting? It's information services. Number 2. Which categorical group makes patients' radiological examination? It's diagnostic services. Number 3. Which categorical group is in charge of repairing medical equipment if needed? It's support services. Number 4. Which categorical group forms the hospital strategy and performs overall management? Administrative services. Dear students, that's all for today. Thank you for the lesson. See you next time. We're going to do part 2 of hospital planning. Goodbye.